I'm Daniel Nesbitt, current president of the HEC, and I have the honor and privilege this morning of welcoming you to our Veterans Day celebration. Today is an important day, and one that deserves our respect and attention. 100 years ago, on the 11th hour of November 11th, 1918, Germany laid down their arms and signed the armistice that ended World War I. A year later, President Woodrow Wilson addressed the nation, establishing Armistice Day, to celebrate the heroism of those who served in the war. After World War II, the nation changed the name of the day from Armistice to Veterans, so that Americans who have defended our country in any war may be celebrated. Since 1954, Veterans Day has been a national holiday, and with each year, the number of heroes to appreciate and celebrate only grows. Therefore, will you please join me and stand as the Upper School Chorus performs our national anthem. Now I have the honor of introducing our very own Kaylee Hersey from the class of 2023 here at Prep. Please join me.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kaylee Hersey, and this morning I am proud to introduce my dad as our guest speaker. My dad, Neil Hersey, is a brigadier general. That's a one-star general in the Army, though for some reason their dress uniform is navy blue. When I ask him what he does, he usually smiles and says, influencing outcomes. But really, he's in charge of cyber and electronic warfare for the U.S. Army. He makes sure our soldiers have the right education, training, and equipment, and helps ensure the right people have the right experience to lead the Army in the future. He's been in the Army for 31 years. He started out as an intelligence officer, and then became a pilot, and then became a cyber person. He's also an airborne ranger, and over the past few years, he's worked for U.S. Cyber Command, and is now a deputy commanding general for the Cyber Center of Excellence in Fort Gordon. He is also the commandant of the Army Cyber School and is in charge of the Army Cyber Branch. A commandant is kind of like an extreme headmaster. Dad, I am proud of what you do for your country. Thank you for speaking today.
Well, good morning, everybody. So, Kaylee, thanks thank you for that awesome introduction. Very, very proud of all that you've done and your courage to stand up here and talk in front of your classmates. So, head of school, Peter Eustace, faculty, students, and family of Augusta Prep. Today, we observe Veterans Day, a day to honor those members of the United States Armed Forces, both living and past, who in times of war and times of peace ensured liberty for all generations of Americans. For 243 years, our nation's best and bravest have answered the call to serve, and we owe them a debt of gratitude, and we also owe them reflection. We celebrate, as was mentioned earlier, we celebrate Veterans Day on the anniversary of the agreement between the Allied powers and Germany to end hostilities that constituted the First World War. That agreement is known as the Armistice, and it ended World War I. This anniversary, celebrated on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, has special meaning this year as we commemorate 100 years since the end of World War I. While we Americans have celebrated the Armistice since 1918, it was not until 1954 that Armistice Day was expanded and renamed to celebrate the service of all veterans. What I find, though, is we have tied Veterans Day to such a significant event in our nation's history that the deep autumn days and changing leaves and cooler weather invite us to reflect. We reflect specifically on our military members who died in the service of our nation on Memorial Day, and celebrate those currently serving on Armed Forces Day. But today, we celebrate those whose service under arms has ended. This day is for them. Our world has seen many wars, and competition and conflict short of war. It is fitting that we celebrate Veterans Day on a day symbolic of peace. A day dedicated to the end of the First World War, a war that would end all wars. And while peace hasn't always rung true for our nation, her soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines have always rang true to us. There are several veterans who serve on the staff and faculty here at Augusta Prep. So I'm going to call out your names, so please stand and be recognized. They are Coach Myron Hunt, Art Instructor Eric Miller, Larry Sanders, who keeps this place running, kindergarten teacher Sarah Hunt, history teacher Chip Kirksey, and Oliver Spratt, who manages these great facilities. If there are any other veterans here, please stand and also be recognized. And one more round of applause for these folks. This day is for them. The veterans who just stood before you swore an oath to defend our Constitution, an oath to defend the freedoms of all Americans. This oath is the same oath that the President, the Supreme Court, the Congress, and many others take. We are the only military in the world that does not take an oath to a king, to a queen, to a dictator, to a president. We don't take an oath to a country. We don't take an oath to a tribe or a piece of dirt. The very core essence of the military is that we are committed to you, the citizens. We are willing to die to give our life for an idea embedded in a document in Washington, D.C., the Constitution, and it's a very powerful idea. Those who just stood before you were willing to die for that idea, so committed to serve the citizens of the United States, so committed to defend your personal liberties, so committed to ensure our republic. I am proud of our veterans, grateful for their service to our nation, and thankful for their carrying the torch of liberty from one generation to the next. Thank you for the honor to address you today. Happy Veterans Day, Army Strong.
Thank you, Brigadier General Hersey, both for a powerful message today and your continued service to our nation. Now, please join me in welcoming the lower school and middle school chorus as they will be singing Your Grand Old Flag. Thank you all very much. That was beautiful. All right, in all seriousness though, it is hard to put in perspective just how significant Veterans Day is. We live in a world with many real, valid problems, and it's easy to get wrapped up in our busy day-to-day schedule. We take for granted the freedom and safety and comforts we enjoy thanks to the dedication of those who serve our country. Friends, family, men and women, many have served and many have protected our democracy, our freedom. This is why we have a national holiday, to celebrate and thank our veterans in the USA. Without them, our world would not be the same. So make an effort today and every day to think of all the men and women, the friends and family that now wear or have worn the uniform, and take the time to thank them for the opportunity to live, grow, and thrive in this land of the free.